Hello everyone, welcome to the Testing Trainer YouTube channel. In this session, we are going to discuss about non-functional testing. So far, whatever we have discussed are all functional testing. So now, let's see what is non-functional testing. Non-functional testing of a system evaluates the characteristics of systems. Okay, and it says the non-functional test is an execution involves specific skills or knowledge such as inherent and weakness, blah blah blah, all those things. But leave all these things aside. Okay, I'll give a quick example and we can easily understand this. Functional testing. First of all, let's see what is functional testing, and then let's see what is non-functional testing. Functional testing means you have an e-commerce website, okay, Amazon or eBay. You have to make sure the login is successful. Very simple example. So you are going to enter user ID, password, click login. Login should be successful. That's it, right? Performing this is called functional testing. Okay. See, in testing world, people who don't know what is testing, or for them, the word functionality means the behavior of the system. Okay, what is generally functional means? Functional means the functional behavior of the system. Okay, so login is one of the functional behavior of the system, right? And placing an order is another functional behavior of the system. Payment is another behavior of the system. So when initially the requirement is getting drafted, the business analyst will be drafting a requirement saying, okay, when a user enters user ID and valid password, and the user should be able to uh, log in successfully. This is a functional requirement. Okay, now this is all functional requirement. Now take an e-commerce example. User should be able to log in, place an order, search for an item, finish the payment, delivery should be successful. All these things are functional requirements. So far in the previous session, we have discussed a lot about functional requirement. Okay, so overall, this is called functional testing. We call that as functional testing. Okay, now you all understood, I think, what is functional testing. Now, coming back to the non-functional testing. Now, testing the functionality of the system, that's functional testing. But is this enough to complete testing? No, I'll tell you why. Okay, first of all, I'm an user. Okay, I'm just opening an e-commerce website. I'm trying to find the search bar. Okay, I'm unable to find it because it has been in the bottom, or it is in a place where it will be hard to find. Okay, now we we have to think as a user and find it out whether it is easy for the user to find some functionality, that is called whether it is usable. Okay, so you made a product, that product should serve its purpose, that should be usable, right? So those kind of things will be tested in usability testing. And performance, so you tested the functionality, but how about performance? How it perform when 1,000 people are accessing your website at the same time? Will it be able to hold the load? Okay, so that is one aspect. The another aspect, security, most important in today's world. The functionality is working fine. Yes, you can able to make a payment successfully, but if someone is able to hack the payment, or are they able to do a bad injection into it, or is it secure to make a payment in your website? Okay, so there are so many aspects that needs to be tested as well. All those aspects apart from the functionality of testing is called non-functional testing. Okay, I know it will still be confusing, but we are going to see each aspect one by one separately. Okay, now let's take usability testing. Usability is nothing but user interface. Okay, usability testing is a crucial part of software development process aimed at evaluating the product user interface and overall UX experience, UX, by testing it with real users. See, when they say UI, the word UX is nothing but user interface UX, nothing. It's just a website. Uh, See this. This is an UI. This is one of the ticket booking website. They say as UI. this is UI, user interface, this is UI. Okay, now coming back to the, it says about overall user experience. Now I'll give an example. This website, we need to publish, we need to book a bus ticket to this website. Okay, now I need to, it's clearing, clearly they are saying from, here they're saying to. Okay, I need to type from to and date and search for, it's very clear. What if this whole box is given here? Will you be able to find it out? Okay, so these are all the aspects you'll be testing in the usability testing. Usability testing is nothing but whether this app, the it is usable, is it easily accessible to the user. Each functionality is clearly providing all the details. Okay, so it should say from, see it is saying. And also I'll tell you something, if this word from and this to is not there, think about it, it's an icon. Okay, how do you know if this is a from and to box? It could be a from and to as well, right? So there are so many aspects like this. If there is no date word here, it will be harder for the people to understand what this text box are. So you have to give a meaningful software to the user. Okay, this is in short term, this is called usability testing. Making sure, so this is called usability. Whatever I have described as usability, you are testing that usability, making sure all the, you have to think in a user perspective. While doing an usability testing, you have to think as if like you are a user, and then you have to access each and every functionality and each and everything and think whether that should be usable, easily accessible. Okay, and also the main goal of this is to identify the usability issues. If there is any issues or anything, you gather the feedback and make improvements and enhance the product usability. So if you feel any issues, you just raise it. Make sure, for example, when I say issues, I'll give an example. Like if there is a help here. Okay, so if there is no help here, then user has to navigate, search here and there, navigate back somewhere, and he need to find it at the bottom or somewhere. But they are nicely giving this help here. Okay, so if the help is not there, you can raise it as an issue saying that a help option is not available in the main page. So can you please provide it? So that provides a good user experience, right? That's one of the example. Now, this is an usability testing, and we have seen an example for usability testing. Next, move to performance testing. In software testing, performance testing plays a vital role. Okay, so whatever we have discussed is a completely, so far whatever we have discussed is functional testing, and it has its own techniques and lots of things. Similarly, the performance testing is a very big area. Okay, so first of all, what is performance testing? Okay, it's another type of testing. Okay, how a system performs under various conditions and workloads. Okay, see, now I'll get back to this website. Okay, so here I'm the only user. I'm going to test it. I'm going to type blah 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 and then type blah blah blah, and then I'm going to select a date and search for a bus, and I can unbook a ticket. Okay, now think about it. They are going to open a ticket for a holiday period. Okay, if it's a holiday period, 4 days holidays. Okay, a long weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday holiday. Okay, and it's a festival time. Everyone will be booking on that, for that date. For example, if the holiday starts from Friday, then everyone will be targeting for Thursday evening or Thursday night. They'll try to book the ticket and return ticket on Monday. So if usual time, a one or three randomly people like 100 200 people may access the system during the peak time, like holiday period. There will be like at least 10,000 people will open the website, access at the same time, and try to book the ticket, right? How will how will this website handle this? Okay, so that's all about performance testing. That's one aspect of performance testing. In performance testing, there are several categories out there. Okay, we'll see one by one. The primary goal of this performance testing to make sure that application meets the performance requirements regarding the speed, responsiveness, stability, and scalability. Like mainly, whether it is one another important aspect of the performance is speed. Okay, so if you type something, click search, and it has take ages to come back the result, then that is a bad user experience, right? Similarly, and it should be responsive as well. Okay, when you click search, it should say something. Okay, it's searching, and then it should provide the results soon. Okay, then similarly we have stability, scalability. Every time it should perform well, and system should be we should be able to add more users into the system. Okay, so different goals that there are different goals for this performance testing. Okay, so and I'll show an example. Like, see, one of the example of loading. I'm just going to create. I'm just going to type like this is also one aspect. Okay, if I say if I click like Delhi to Chandigarh, okay, it immediately coming. Chandigarh is immediately coming, right? So that is the responsiveness. Okay, if I click this button, it will immediately pop up the date. See how fast it is. Okay, now if I click it and it's taking ages to come, then that's a bad performance, right? So I'm going to select it. On if I click, it should be very responsive. It should not take more than 3 seconds to load. Okay, but see, it's still taking more than 3 seconds. So see, this is one of the example of poor performance. I would not say it's a very poor performance, but it's still a poor performance. It should be faster. But there are industry standards like how fast an application should be and all those things. But then it differs from a company to company requirement, user to user, and for some company needs their website to be having they're okay with 5 seconds or 6 seconds of the time responsiveness, then that should be fine for them, right? So you have to understand those requirements and you need to test it. Okay, and there are different other testings under the performance testing. Okay, which will be saying that I will just cover the major few. The load testing, performance testing, sorry, load testing, stress testing, soak testing, and scalability testing. First, I'll tell you what is load testing. Okay, load testing is nothing but you're going to apply a specific load to the system and evaluate its performance. That's it. For example, if the system is have a capacity of accepting up to 5,000, then you're going to hit 4,000 users at the same time. Okay, so 4,000 or 3,000 or around 5,000 users at the same time to make sure system performs very well. Okay, that is a kind of load testing. I'm just giving a high level overview. Okay, now if what is stress testing? Now if the system handle only 5,000 users, if I am giving 6,000 or 7,000 users, then that is called stress testing. You're making sure what how the system behaves when it's going out of the control, right? So that is stress testing. Okay, now soak testing. Okay, so soak testing involves in running the system under the sustained load for extended period to assess its performance or see. For example, fourth of take the load testing. In load testing, you are going to inject like you are going to make 3,000 users. You're going to make 3,000 users to access at same time. Okay, and then you're seeing how the performance is. Now, the soak testing is nothing but you're going to do the similar thing for load testing, but you're going to assess it over that time, like extended period of time, maybe for day or 2 days or something like that. Okay, give that take a high level. Okay, now what is scalability testing? So scalability testing is nothing but if you keep on increasing the load by adding resources, like if um, system can handle only 4,000 users. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the resources such as CPU, memory, storage, and make sure it's accepting 6,000. Again, I'm adding some other resources and making sure it's go to 7,000. So that is called scalability testing. Okay, performance testing is a very big area, but this tutorial is mainly designed for fundamentals and basics of testing, right? Now, but then I want you all to get an understanding of what is performance testing. So you have to understand what is performance as a functional tester or an automation tester. So you need to understand what is performance testing and how it will be performed. That is our primary goal. Okay. Hope this session helps for you in performance testing. Now let's move to another chapter, security testing. This is another functional non-functional testing. Okay, see, as I said earlier, leave the functionality of the application, take non-functionality. So here the non-functionality is another important non-functionality is security. See, now in today's world there are lots of security problems are happening. The cyber security has so many cases. saying that some people are taking money from other people account randomly, and some cards are being misused. So many cases are there. So whenever you design or whenever you develop an website, then you should also make sure the website is tested for security. Okay, make sure other people, like, it should not have any breaches, and data of the application should not be, for example, you have a personal data, you under the, you create a login for yourself, you type all the personal data like your phone number, address, and everything. So other people should not able to access all those details. Okay, that's one example. And then make sure your card detail, if you save your card details into the app, then you, the people should not able to take the details from your database. So there are so many things like that. So the security testing is nothing but make sure that security is not vulnerable. Okay, the system is not vulnerable for those kind of weaknesses. Okay, so we also need to identify the vulnerables, weakness, and then we need to make a security measures. We need to identify. So if you are a security tester, what you will do, you will be assessing all the weaknesses and vulnerabilities of your system, and then you will be raising those issues, and we need to mitigate. Developers will be mitigating those issues, right? So this is a high level overview of what is security testing. Okay, now in this session we discussed non-functional testing. Okay, so whatever we have discussed so far, all functional testing. What is functional testing? A summary: testing the functionality of applications such as login, payment, adding an item into cart. So all these things, these are all called functional testing, making sure that functionality is working. Now, what is non-functional testing? You know very well that all the functionality of the applications are working, and no problem. But is it very usable? The UI is very readable, usable, and easy to access. So those things will be tested in usability testing. And when 4,000 or 5,000 people are trying to access, I'm giving example of 4,000, but sometimes it will be more than 50,000, 60,000 as well. Okay, so if those many people are trying to access a system, whether the system is able to capable of performing the action at that particular user levels, so that will be tested by performance testing. Okay, high level security testing. So the data should not be used by other people. Data should not be used by other people, and data should be saved properly. And then payment details should be saved securely. Other people should not be able to get the card details of you. Okay. So there are so many things. So system has some system will be having lots of vulnerabilities and weaknesses. So you need to assess those vulnerabilities and weaknesses, and then you need to take a specific action for it. So these are the non-functional testing. There are also, I'm giving a very important note, there are also other non-functional testing available in the our testing industry. But what I have covered is only the major testing like usability testing, performance testing, security testing. So one other important testing is called like the accessibility testing is also there, where the people who are like visible, like they should also be using the system. So they have their own like accessibility testing. You need to test the accessibility of for those kind of people as well. So and that is also one another testing, and there are other testings as well. But these are all the major testing. Okay, thank you.